Granola has to battle Gas, the new strongest in the universe, or so we think. We got to talk about that wish a little bit because we still don't know what exactly it was. Goku tries to help out and Vegeta is the GOAT. I'm Mastar and welcome to Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 78. Now, in one of the very first panels here, we see that the Heeters learn that Goku, Vegeta, and Granola have stopped fighting, so they're going to send Oil and Mackie to go challenge them while they're in their weakened state. But simultaneously, Elec tells Gas that they have this plan, they have this goal, and Gas is the one who's going to help them achieve this goal, which I'm starting to believe that Elec has an ulterior motive. As you can see here, he places his hands on Gas's shoulders and he says, the plan all relies on you. You know that, right? And Gas is like, yeah. And then Elec gives this kind of creepy smile. So it's possible that although he tells the Heeters and although he tells everyone that all he really wants to do is rule the universe with money and bureaucracy, there may be some other ulterior motive, although I don't really know what else it could be. He could probably wish to be the strongest himself right there. So there could be an element to the story that we don't know yet, but I have a feeling that he might even be playing his own people in this case. Now in the last chapter, we got the whole backstory between Bardock and Gas, the Heeters, Granola, and all that jazz. And now Granola he's furious because he's like, you let me work for the Heeters this whole time? And when Elec killed my mother? But Manito does bring up a good point as he says, look, if I had told you that Elec killed your mother, you would have challenged him when you were a child or when you weren't ready and you would have just died. Later on in the chapter, thinking like, well, maybe it would have been a good idea to just die to this guy. Like the humiliation from working for the person who killed your parents is too brutal for one's mind, which I think is part of the reason why like Granola seems to be like losing all sense of confidence and self-fortitude. He's pretty much just losing it. Like Granola his entire world has been shattered within the last chapter or two, and he doesn't know what to believe anymore. He just found out that he's been used his entire life, and I mean, for Granola, you got to feel bad for the guy. Now, something interesting here is that Vegeta asks, did Bardock win against Gas? And Manito says, he sure did, that's how we survived. To which Vegeta says, Bardock was a low-class warrior. As far as I know, I guess Gas was really weak, right? And Manito says, nope, just the opposite. Gas was very strong. But I think it could be one of two things. Either Gas was stronger than Bardock, and Manito used the Cerealian Dragon Balls to somehow help Bardock win, maybe give him a power boost or something like that. Or maybe Bardock achieved Super Saiyan during the battle. I mean, that's the vibe that I'm getting, but I feel like that's so silly because when Bardock tried to stop Frieza's meteor from blowing up Planet Vegeta, he probably would have went back into Super Saiyan. So if he achieved it then, why didn't he achieve it when he was trying to save Planet Vegeta from Frieza? I don't know, but I feel like something weird is going on there because Bardock was a low-class warrior. I mean, he was a strong low-class warrior, but if Gas is that strong, then like something strange had to happen there. And I'm curious to find out what that is. I wonder if and when we'll find out what that is. If you guys have any ideas, leave a comment down below. The Cerealian Dragon is brought forth and Elec makes his wish. And as he does, Oil and Mackie land in front of Goku, Vegeta, and Granola. And they sense in a tremendous power signature. So that's got to be Gas who's like catching up with them. But as Oil and Mackie land, or maybe it's Gas from behind that rock, like the wind from their ki is so strong, it's like blowing Goku, Vegeta, and Granola away, which is like, that's kind of a classic Dragon Ball trope where like the new character arrives and he lands and like just this wind comes out, right? And they're so insanely powerful. So that's got to be Gas who walks up and now he is an adult. So speculations on the wish. The wish is either to make Gas the new strongest in the universe, because Mackie even says later on in the chapter, because Gas's wish came last, that means that now he's the strongest in the universe. Or it could have something to do with Gas growing up into an adult. What if like his species lives for thousands of years and they just simply don't become an adult for 2,000 years or something like that, and that's when they gain the real strength like Elec has? Maybe it's something like that because they have not established what the wish is yet. And I don't feel like Gas would give up his whole life if it's the same method as Granola's was, like give up his whole life except for 3 years. I don't feel like Gas would do that just for Elec, but maybe he did. And maybe Elec's just that evil that like, hey man, we got to sacrifice you. We need you to be the hammer of the Heeters for a few years until you die. But you know, that should be enough for us to get control of the universe. One thing that kind of bugs me a little bit though about the translations is like some of the way that like these characters talk, like Goku's like, you jerks, you know, and Granola's like, you low down dirty. I don't know. It's just very child friendly. Like, one of the things I loved about DBZ was how Vegeta was like always cursing, right? Like, I feel like that's something that's lost in Dragon Ball Super, which I feel is like toned down, and this adds to it. Just this kind of generic tropey, like kid friendly back and forth talk that doesn't really add any value, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of tropey language like in this whole arc, not just this chapter, but you know, some more examples. Do you really think that would work on me, you fool? Did you really think you could beat me? I'm not gonna get too upset about it, but it's just like, we've heard that so much before. It's just like nonsensical verbiage that doesn't add any value, and that's why I don't really like it. Gas begins his attack by just shooting a finger laser beam directly at everyone and just moves his finger to the point where it slices in half Granola's spaceship. So is that the end of Oatmeal? Maybe that he just killed Oatmeal right there. I'm not really sure. And then he creates a pitchfork out of thin air. So Gas's ability, whether or not this is something he already had or it could be something he gained from the wish, but he's able to manifest weapons out of thin air. It's almost identical to Kinshiki Otsutsuki from Boruto, who would create weapons, these like red energy weapons, and just trying to fight Sasuke with them. And he's able to use these weapons, at least this pitchfork, he just straight up pierces Granola up against a piece of his broken ship. Now, Granola is very weakened at this point. Same with Goku and Vegeta. I mean, they're completely tanked. They've been battling for chapters and chapters, so they're not able to put up much of a fight. But this whole chapter leaves this question to us that is Gas really the strongest, right? Because like at the end of the chapter, Vegeta gives Granola a SENZU bean. He hasn't eaten it yet, so something might happen there. Like maybe Gas blasted or something like that. You're led to believe that the wish was made to make Gas the new strongest in the universe. But I don't think so. I think that Granola might actually still be stronger. It's just that he's so weakened at this point, and when he eats the Senzu, he very well may be strong enough to have a crazy battle with Gas and destroy him. But even so, I mean, I'm very curious as to what this wish was of Gas, because this guy lost to Bardock. He's not that strong. Now all of a sudden he's stronger than Granola, Goku, and Super Saiyan Blue, who fights him as well, you know, and Granola's the strongest in the universe. It seems kind of weird how did he get this just monstrous power boost out of nowhere? Sometimes they just make these characters as strong as they need to be. Goku tries to come in and help Granola, and Gas just flicks his fingers and puts these energy cubes or weighted cubes on Goku and sends him pinning him down to the ground, which is almost exactly like Hearts from Super Dragon Ball Heroes. So it's interesting, now they're taking notes from Super Dragon Ball Heroes as well. But I guess if Gas can manifest items, weapons, whatever, shields even, he does this from anywhere, he can also place them anywhere on the battlefield as well. So he creates them on Goku and he just straight up sinks. When also interesting to note that Minato is able to just remove these cubes. He says he's not a good Namekian. He says he's not a strong Namekian, but somehow he's able to walk over to Goku, heal him a little bit, and remove the cubes, which I have no idea how. They didn't explain how. Like, if you're not a good Namekian, how are you getting rid of these items that the new strongest in the universe just manifested? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But now Gas creates this axe out of thin air, and he's going for the killing blow. So he goes down to slice off, I guess, Goku's head, and that's when Granola, somehow he had gotten out of the pitchfork, and he blasts Gas in the back. He blasts Gas. Did I really, bro? He blasts Gas. There's way too many puns you can make on this character's name. And that's when Gas creates this like spiked mace out of thin air and just smashes Granola in the face. So Granola is in deep trouble at this point, and he's pretty much just going to get beat up all chapter, but that was enough to save Goku, and now Minato can come over and free up Goku, who's going to go into Super Saiyan Blue and continue the battle. So some interesting dialogue here. I'm not sure how much it really matters, but Granola's wondering as he's throwing punches at Gas, who's just dodging, why did you let me live all this time? Like, you wanted to kill all the Cerealians, you killed my mother. Why'd you let me just work for you all these years? And there's a little flashback where Gas explains that Elec saw potential in Granola for some reason, wanted to keep him alive as a bounty hunter to work for the Heeters. But I'm wondering, like, why? Like, maybe this has something to do with this ulterior motive. It doesn't really seem to make too much sense to me. Like, if Gas is so strong, like, why would they need this child Granola helping them out? Like, something is strange here. Perhaps Elec wants to take over Granola's body or something like that. Like maybe he wants the eye power. I'm not really sure yet. Something fishy is going on for sure. Goku actually does surprisingly well in Super Saiyan Blue, even as he's pretty beaten up at this point with low stamina, and he's able to break one of Gas's weapons. So just simply by grabbing it and breaking it, kind of like, it reminded me of like the Gohan versus Dabra fight where Gohan wasted so much energy to break Dabra's sword. If Goku can break the weapons in blue, imagine what he can do in Ultra Instinct. So I feel like, honestly, Goku, Vegeta, or Granola, I feel like if any of them is full power, they beat Gas. They blast Gas. He just doesn't seem that strong. I mean, Goku, Vegeta, and Granola are all completely tanked at this point, but Granola is able to break out of the pitchforks that were sticking him, you know, into the ship. Goku's able to break one of Gas's weapons. Granola was able to blast Gas in the back with a beam, will catch him off guard. And Goku doesn't really land any punches. Every attack he throws, Gas just is able to block it with this shield that he manifests. But I just don't get the feeling that Gas is really as strong as he thinks he is. And that's why I don't think the wish was for him to become the strongest. It was more so to become an adult. And with that, he got a tremendous power boost. Goku gets hit in the face with a big old hammer, so he's out now. And that's when Vegeta finds the Senzu bean, comes over, and is going to give it to Granola. Now, Granola acknowledges that Vegeta could have eaten the Senzu in order to beat Granola, and Vegeta says, and take the coward's way out? Never. Now, here's the thing. I've talked about this in videos before because Vegeta's saying that now, but you got to remember, Goku ate one, he lost to Granola, and he just straight up ate one, like right off the bat. This is something that Vegeta has said during the Cell Saga when Goku was fighting Cell and Goku was losing, and everybody's like, Goku, just eat a Senzu and keep fighting. And Goku's like, no, I quit. Like, Gohan's going to step up. And Vegeta had to explain that a Saiyan would never take that sort of handicap in order to win. But throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball Super, we've seen them eat Senzus lots of time. In terms of continuity, it doesn't make any sense because we've seen Goku and Vegeta just down Senzus mid-battle tons of times in Dragon Ball Super. But now, all of a sudden, Vegeta's like, I guess he's got his pride now. He's got his ultra ego. He's back to his old ways. Maybe that's something like that, but I don't think so. I think this is more about Vegeta, as I've said, he's acting more of like a mentor to Granola now, and he understands his troubles and his life and his quest for revenge, and he's trying to help Granola satisfy that revenge. And so he's like, here, this is your quest. We're not even really supposed to be here. I mean, Saiyans are kind of intertwined with this whole battle going on and everything, but at the same time, Granola, this is your shot. This is all for you. So here, take the Senzu and beat Gas. And I think he's going to eat it, and I think he's going to kick the crap out of Gas. Man, it's weird saying Gas so much. I just keep thinking about farting. Yeah, I think in the next chapter, it's going to be, most of the chapter is just going to be Granola stomping the crap out of Gas. Maybe it's very close and Goku and Vegeta have to come help, but I feel like Granola should be stronger. Pretty interesting developments. I really thought that Elec was going to be the one to make the wish. Now, one more important thing to note is that apparently the Cerealian Dragon Balls never turned to stone for a year because it appears that Elec is just able to make his wish within, I guess, a month of Granola making his wish. So potentially Elec could go find the Dragon Balls again and make another wish. It doesn't appear that there's any time frame that they have to wait before making another one, meaning that Elec very well make another wish by the end of this arc and maybe become the strongest. Maybe all the Heeters fused into some monstrosity or something like that. I'm not really sure yet, but there's still a lot of room in this arc for this arc to develop. So I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with it, but I'm really excited to get the next chapter to see, is full power Granola stronger than Gas and what Gas's wish actually was. But it should be an intense action-packed chapter yet again. So we'll have to find out when we get to that point. I'm Mastar. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you soon for another one.